Hi, everyone. We're back live Audiophile Roundtable. I think it was about a week off. Beatles Mono Box, more coming, plus news and picks. It's been a week off. I've been busy. Welcome, everyone, to the show. Glad to have you on the live Audiophile Roundtable. Did a lot of research in the last week or so, trying to find out if there's going to be more of these Beatles Mono Box pressings coming. I mean, it's like this. It's a mystery like how they built the pyramids in Egypt. No one seems to know. But we're going to bring in our guests first, our panel. Maybe one at a time, or maybe all together. You know what? We'll do it all together, just for fun. Guys, Michael T. from Seattle, the Vinyl Cowboy from Florida, Jefferson Tublandia from the People's Republic of Berkeley. There you go. Welcome, everyone. It's been a while since we've had a show like this. Michael, I haven't seen you for I guess, at least 2-3 weeks. Welcome.
Yeah, it's been at least 3 weeks. We were on a Saturday morning. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think with Robert.
It's probably been a few weeks now. So the big thing is, and I know I've done a lot of research. You saw the thumbnail, Beatles Mono Box. Are there more coming? Guys, I work the phones. I work my sources. I emailed. I spoke to everyone you could imagine and more people that I would think that would be in the know. And no one can tell me if there's more Beatles boxes coming. They don't know. It's like, it's a big secret.
It's a mystery.
It's a real mystery, and I think that's why I put this show up today and this thumbnail up today. I know we've talked about it in nauseam for a while, but it's a mystery because why would Universal or Apple go and let 4 per customer be sold in the U.S., one in Europe? I mean, if they wanted everyone to have a copy of this and wanted a new generation to have a copy of this, they really didn't think about it. Would you guys agree with that?
Was it 4 in the U.S.? It was quite a few, right?
Yeah. I mean, people are saying here, I mean, Kev was saying Apple isn't dumb. They will make more money. It's easy money. That's true.
Right.
But I learned from my research, and one of the big things is that the Beatles are one band. There's how many thousands of bands that Universal are dealing with Optimal and the different pressing plants, right? They can only allocate a certain amount of time to Beatles recordings and Beatles records. So we'll see. Maybe they did press more. They're not going to release them until July 8th, but I will tell you guys, and I really tried for everyone here. I couldn't find an answer. No one will be able to tell me if there's going to be more coming at all. No one knows. We're like tight-lipped, Ziploc sealed on this one, as Gordon Gekko said in the movie Wall Street. No one knows.
Well, I think you hit no one knows. For sure. But I think you hit on something there, Steve, about the pressing capacity at Optimal, right? That one box set, that's not one album, that's 13 albums or whatever it is. And
14,
so that's
14 if you're counting at home.
Right, thank you. Yeah, and so if you're that's taking up 14 spots that could have gone to other releases, right? And as you say, they have other things besides the Beatles. It could just be that's what they're able to get allocated, and maybe we'll get something next year, perhaps. I mean, I don't know. I'm speculating along with the rest.
Well, here's what I did learn. I mean, this was 2 years. This was 2 years in the making. This wasn't just 6 months ago. Oh, we're going to press some more Beatles Mono Boxes. This took 2 years to get to where they were, where they did this pre-release, and 3 weeks ago now, almost a month ago. So I don't know. And it is real. It's a real mystery, especially since when Miles Scholl came on, he was saying, well, the Beatles really want, or Apple really wants, everyone to get copies of this, of all their records. Well, this isn't a good way to do it, 4 per customer, right, Robert? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, if they do it again, I hope it's at least 2. I mean, I think that's a reasonable number, don't you? One for you. Personally, when I was buying mine, my mom's boyfriend, huge Beatles fan. And by the time I texted him to see if he wanted it, he didn't, but I went back, it was already gone. But yeah, I mean, buy one for a friend, one for a gift, that makes sense. But 4, I mean, come on.
Well, I was live we had a special live Audiophile Roundtable, myself and Mazzy. We were live during the time that actually sold out. So there was viewers in the comments, if you guys watched, they saying, oh, I bought mine, and then they all of a sudden, oh, sold out, we can't get any. And apparently a few days later there was still some available, I think in Italy and I believe in Germany as well. But yeah, I did work the phones, guys. I did email. I did talk to a lot of people over the last week, and no one seems to know. It's definitely zip-locked. Definitely is probably some, probably not allowed to legally to say yay or nay if there's going to be more pressed for that, July 18th shipping date, which was promised on the website.
Yeah, like the previous show, and a guy that I spoke to, who will remain nameless.
No, don't do that.
That usually is pretty right on some of these things. He said 10,000. So
I always thought the first pressing was the 2014 first run was about 20,000. That was always in my head. Again, I don't know. I don't have any any analytics to prove that, but that just made sense to me at the time because vinyl wasn't big back in 2014, guys. That's the thing. People weren't spinning records like they are today.
In 2014, and to Jefferson's statement and Michael's, in 2014, there wasn't a demand at Optimal or any of these pressing plants to press records like they are right now.
They could probably drop a pin in 2014 and hear it back then. Today, a little bit different. But going back to it, here's the thing. I mean, we did a show. It was, the flippers aren't going to be too happy. So I'm going to show. This is interesting. And Jefferson, you showed me this, but have a look. This is the Beatles in mono. This is the 2014. The last one that was sold in Discogs was yesterday. $750 it went for. The 2014.
Is this for the pre-sale?
No. This is the 2014.
2014.
Oh, okay.
Beatles box, and I think it was in pretty decent shape. $750 it went for yesterday or the day before.
And what I said yesterday,
sorry, June 25th. So it was sold yesterday after you sent it to me, Jefferson.
Right. And that was the only one I've seen drop. I mean, I have that on my want list because I didn't get it the first time. And I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting really, but I was expecting to start to see the prices plummet as the flippers panicked and, let me get something. Let me double my money at least from what I had. But that was the only one I saw come up. And
I love looking at
sold right away.
I love looking at that chart, Jefferson. It reminds me of a bear stock where it's, had its big run, sort of a NASDAQ.com of the early 2000s. Now we're on, seen on the way down, the PE ratio is too high.
And that is that's a new low. 750. Look at the chart. It's a new low.
Yeah,
it never sold for that before.
Yeah,
for that time period. That goes back to 2020.
So seeing that too is sort of sets the price going forward for future sellers that post on Discogs, and of course future buyers that are looking for it. That's a precedent right there. The $750, and it was a decent set. It had all the 14 records. It was in beautiful shape according to the description that Jefferson sent me.
Now the ones that people are doing the pre-sale where they're just showing a picture. What are those going for right now?
I think they're only on eBay, Robert.
They're not on Discogs yet. I think Discogs even listed it, right? So they're just eBay anywhere from, is it $1,200 to $1,500 up to $2,000? I want to say.
Yeah, anecdotally, I've seen around $1,200.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what this means. I mean, supply versus demand. Clearly, the demand isn't as high because a lot of the people that didn't want to buy it at $1,400 bought it when it went on sale and pre-sale 4 weeks ago for $565 or $85. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, click the link at the top and let's see how many are for sale now today.
I'm looking at the completed listings. They're going for the same prices, like $890, $1,000.
Okay. So it's starting to drop now because that $750 was the first cheap one I'd seen.
These are the pre-sales that are going.
Can you guys see this? $1,250, $1,350.
I'm on eBay.
Sort by price.
They're going for $1,000 on eBay.
These are Canadian though, unfortunately. So this is this is skewed price.
Well, I know I'm excited to get my box. I wouldn't mind paying an extra $125 to get it a little bit faster for a 2014.
Yeah, I mean
that's a tax.
Well, invariably these flippers are going to come back and they're going to say, "Oh, well, these plates were fresher in 2014, and so they're going to sound better." Right, or some bullshit like that.
That was my argument.
Coming.
That was my argument on the live show we did that day. I said that's going to be the big thing. Well, the metal's fresher, so it has to sound better. Or That's probably what they're going to say. But that doesn't make any sense.
But also, Steve, like you said, with that metal, you could press 60,000 of them.
So, what was the math on that? I mean, the math is something like, if you really, 20 mothers, 20 fathers or whatever, I think you could get up to max is, if you really wanted to go hard, like in the 70s, like 3 million or something. Some crazy ridiculous number. It would never happen, right?
I don't think that argument's going to fly right now. Maybe if once we get to, let's say they started doing 50, we get doing 50, then maybe the plates being fresh is a valid argument, but right now, no, it's not.
Rick's saying 50,000. Is he saying that in 2014? Because if it's 50,000, that's a lot of supply back in 2014, and that doesn't make sense for the amount for the price that they're still listed for in Discogs for the 2014 box. I'm going with 20,000. No, we'll never know. That was another thing years ago when I was really getting my channel off the ground. One of the big things was one of the mysteries is I wanted to find out how many of these mono boxes were ever pressed, and I did a research and phoned and emailed a lot of people, got ghosted a lot. No one will tell me that either or knows.
Why the secrecy?
I don't know why the secrecy. That is because it's not numbered. So why does it matter? We don't know how many Beatles records were sold in 1967 of Sgt. Pepper. Really, we don't know, or how many were pressed.
We got an idea. If it went gold, if it went platinum, that's what 500,000, a million.
Is that right? Correct too? Do we know that's true? After all these years, really?
I just like to put the layers of speculation on top of each other until it totally collapses.
Do the Beatles really sell 1 billion records? Come on, who knows?
Come on, who knows? People are saying.
Yeah, could be. But yeah, going back to, if you guys are just joining, I don't know. No one knows how many were pressed for the 2025. No one seems to know that. We don't even know for the 2014.
Well, all I know is that I was in a record store about 6 months ago with another YouTuber in the vinyl community, and there was it was in San Jose. He's visiting. He was in San Jose, and so we met up to go have dinner, go record shopping, and there was a mono box for $1,000, and it was like, do you want that? I'm like, well, you're visiting, you go for it. So we went ahead and bought it, and I was like, God damn it, because I could have got it then, but now I'm kind of like, okay, well, great, at least I'm gonna get one of these, hopefully.
Godspeed.
You didn't get one back in. You don't have one of the 2014.
Oh, it's ridiculous, Robert. So my wife actually tried to buy it for me for like a birthday gift or an anniversary gift. I was like, I got the CDs, and what was I into at the time? I think I was buying I was all into the 180 gram shit. So I was stupidly selling my originals and buying 180 gram versions. And so I was like, yeah, so no, and stupidly no. I could have, if I just listened to my wife, but it is.
Michael, do you have it?
I have individual titles. I don't have the box set.
Like
I probably have 80% of them.
But you don't have the box.
No, I bought the ones that wanted individually.
Okay, I'm going to shift for 1 second. We can get back to this. I just noticed someone had posted something here, and I know, Jefferson, you want to talk about it quickly. Just give me a second. This just came out today. This is big news if you're a fan of these guys. So Jefferson, tell us about Funkadelic pre-order.
Okay, well, John Bandy's down there, and we've talked about this before. So this is ORG. They've got
music.
The exclusive
ORG music.
ORG music, yes, thank you. And they've got the exclusive rights to both archive and remaster the Westbound catalog. And if you're a Funkadelic fan like me, you know that the original Westbounds are very hard to find, very expensive, usually beat all to hell. And for whatever reason, everything after the first pressing was done from an inferior tape, inferior source, whatever. There's a Four Men with Beards that's notorious. Anyway, bottom line is they've never done good reissues of this catalog ever. And so this is an opportunity for to get a reissue of these out to the people. And this one in particular is 45 RPM. But there's a great interview on the Tracking Angle with the mastering engineer, Catherine, I can't remember her name. Or she's the archivist and the mastering engineer, Dave Gardner. And they're going through all they're taking all the pains they can to find the best sources, the best copies. Like they went through, I think, 50 different copies of just the debut album. You know, there were safety copies. There were some that were pressed for Europe, and they're basically going through and archiving these. And then, so what they're doing, they're taking the original master tape, right? They're taking it and they're splitting it directly to a ADC to get a digital source. Then they're splitting it
slow down
into a
right
tape.
there. Slow down, because there was someone that had asked you that. I think Patrick Lear had asked here for some clarification. Sounds like the 4500 Funkadelic is from tape, but the 33 is a digital transfer. Can you clarify? Do you know any more information, Jefferson?
Yes, Patrick, that's right. That's what Org says on their website right now.
Okay.
What they haven't disclosed, which is just kind of fun, they're doing it on cassette also. If you scroll over there, Steve, there's a cassette version for $10. Got to piss off the 202, Robert.
So it is an all analog double LP mastered 45 RPM directly from tape by Dave Gardner at DSG Mastering. Offers the highest fidelity to date. And you were mentioning it's Catherine Vercoli, who's the archivist and restored the original master tapes at 54 Sound Studio. And if you go up here, there's different options. You got the 2 LP 45, the ultraviolet LP format, the black LP, the CD, the cassette, and the digital download that no one will download.
The cassette's coming from the digital.
It's got to be. I mean, they don't say it explicitly, Robert. At least I didn't see it today. But they're selling it for $10. I just can't believe that they would do it from an analog source. Will I buy it? Of course, it's fun. But $10. I mean, but I'll probably just get the double 45 and be good. I was just going to show. Where did I have it? Yeah, it's the original. Great album, and this beautiful Westbound label. If you see this label on anything, Ohio Players, get it.
There's a website, www.orgmusic.com, to pre-order.
Is Dave Gardner at Elysian Mastering? I'm trying to remember.
DSG,
yes, I believe so.
Was that
Elysian Mastering? Yeah.
What's it say here? Dave Gardner at DSG Mastering offers the highest fidelity.
Oh, DSG, okay.
Jefferson, I almost reached out to you. I was at my local about 3 weeks ago, and they had a bunch of the Funkadelic reissues. And I remember you saying that the source of them, a lot of them, they weren't really good pressings. And
no, I don't know. There may be good reissues out there. Maybe the first couple of like the blue Westbound labels may be okay. But even those are high generation safeties, if I recall correctly. I don't know what happened. George was doing a lot of drugs back then. The management was going, changing managers, etc. And if you read the article on Tracking Angle, the tapes went to New Orleans, and they went to the UK, and then back, and then eventually ended up in Detroit. It went to Memphis, I think, was part of that route. So, it all came back to Detroit eventually, but they were literally going through boxes and boxes of tapes. Sometimes there was a label and sometimes there wasn't. And as Catherine said, what is what's written on the box, if anything is written on the box. But a lot of that stuff, they just had to listen to it and figure out what it was.
So Bandy wants to do a next Audiophile challenge stream, Funkadelic 45 AAA versus a 33.3 digital versus an original. So here's the thing. All the forums and posts will be all over if I was to do that, because that's like comparing apples to oranges. I can't do that.
Yeah,
comparing a AAA 45 to a 33 digital. Come on, I'll get crucified if I was to pull that off. That's I can't do that.
You can do what you want, though. I mean, audiophiles are a bunch of high maintenance purists anyway.
I'm not doing it.
So do what you like.
It's so subjective anyway.
Add the cassette on a Nakamichi deck. I bet you it'll compete with them.
I know someone that's a Nakamichi deck.
Yeah,
Robert.
exactly.
There you go.
And so does Jefferson. We're both Nakamichi guys. So
I just don't want to go down the tape rabbit hole. I got enough going on in my life. I just don't have the time for that. I see you guys. You guys send me all pictures and all this stuff, and I'm like, I get all jealous, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not pulling the trigger on this stuff. And I want one, but I can't do it. I can't.
Cassette is easy though. Cassette is easy.
I bought 5 cassettes at the Orlando show, and 2 of them were sealed. One was Marvin Gaye, Greatest Hits, and the other was the Rascals. It was Rascals' Greatest Hits.
Shocking that was sealed. We got Rascals.
I went to fast forward it because I always want to loosen it up.
Yeah, totally.
And they, disintegrated.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know.
I was going to say we at the show in LA a couple weekends ago we did a comparison of Dark Side of the Moon on digital, tape, and vinyl, and it was so fun, and everybody in the room had a blast. And of course, they preferred tape. I mean, it's one thing to talk about it or say this or that or compare the frequency response, etc., or you could just like listen to it, and that's the best way to experience it.
Yeah.
You can't really do it on a YouTube video or from an iPhone recording or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I was listening before we went on. I have the Sundays Blind, and I mean that record goes for $300 some odd dollars, but the cassette cost me $10, and it's an original cassette.
Yeah, and actually, do you guys know this? Evening Star, Brian Eno and Robert Fripp. It's very proto ambient. It's the second out collaboration they did together, but I've been trying to find a clean UK version, and even clean EX, it's such a quiet album that even a little bit of surface noise, you're going to notice it. Does it just detract overall? Maybe a little bit. But I was in one of my local shops the other day. They had this for like $10. I was like, okay, I don't know what the full frequency response is, but I put it on, and it was so great to hear it, and there was no surface noise to speak of. It's just like, I mean, and cassette tape, depending on where it's made, is a really great value versus shelling out for
I was
original
buy,
UK pressings.
Vince Guaraldi, that One Step Black Orpheus, and I got a cassette. I think it's right over here.
I bought a cassette last weekend of something I don't listen to too often.
Is this cassette thing really coming back? You guys are crushing me.
No,
on this.
CDs are coming back, Steve. Didn't you hear?
Hijacking the show.
I used to listen to.
Well, hang on though. We have viewers.
Oh, nice.
Got all the songs.
We have viewers in Europe that say CDs are actually outselling vinyl in Europe. So I don't know. Getting back to it though, I wanted to give a shout out to one of our viewers, and he's nice enough and kind enough to send me this. And Michael, you have one as well. This is Adam T-Rowe. This is the Freight. This is his band. He's a lead singer, songwriter. And I will say, guys, kind of cool what he did. They recorded it at 2548, and then went to tape, then went to console, then went to lathe, pressed at Fidelity by Ryan Case and mastered by Ryan K. Smith. And Adam, I know you're watching right now. He's a fan of the show. And I told him this before in private. If you guys know who Teddy Swims is, heard of him before, Adam has that same sort of sound as Teddy Swims, and really appreciate all original music and great sounding record, and really sounds great, and really like this band. I'm not just saying that.
Yeah. They're very, I streamed it yesterday. Adam reached out to me.
Tight.
And I was so impressed with their sound. I mean,
tight. All the instruments were tight.
Very,
I
very
think
crunchy.
Part of it too. I mean, on the LP, it was really mastered well. They did a really good job on their mastering choices as well.
That was 2496 transferred to on tape to RTM 911, I believe. Jefferson, and then Ryan K. Smith at Sterling transferred it and cut the vinyl.
Yeah.
So I have to apologize. Mastered by Patrick DeSeno, and then tape transfer and cut Ryan K. Smith.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Right.
Sterling Sound, and then of course Fidelity, who's blown out of the park. Fidelity's pressing in a lot of great stuff these days. But
yeah, they are.
Tales of the Maybe, the Freight, pick it up. I think this one, I'm limited. I don't know sure if it's limited to first pressing, limited to 500 copies. Just Google the Freight. Sure, you can find it. I
was going to say, how could I wouldn't find one at my local or something like that.
Probably not, but I believe if you go to the Freight, just Google that, you should be able to find it. But yeah,
they even use the multi-terminology. It says 2448 to tape to console to lathe.
Yeah, nice. No, it is a cool album. Rick, you're right. It's a cool album. It sounds great. It's got, Adam has that Teddy Swims type of sound to him, a little bit heavier, and really appreciate his talent. First of all, it took majorly great just band, and you got to get it. You got to listen to it. At least stream it, right?
What about the other one we got? We got one more from Intervention Records, right?
Show it. What do you got? I got it too.
This just came out.
We got again. Joe Jackson is out. New wave classic, Night and Day, baby.
Shane at Intervention sent it to us, pressed at Gotta Groove Records,
mastered at Kevin Gray. And this is interesting. You don't see pressed on 150 gram vinyl. How often do you see that?
I'm happy with my gold stamp promo.
You got the promo?
Nice.
But 150 gram vinyl is not something you see every day, boys.
You know what else sounds really good is the 10-inch that they did. He did.
Look sharp. Yeah.
Look sharp. Yeah.
I got one of those too. That sounds really good.
Yeah, for sure. All his Joe Jackson stuff is great.
Yeah. So this was originally pressed at RTI years and years ago, and then Shane just had it repressed on Got a Groove.
I just got mine. I just got mine this afternoon. I have not had a chance.
I got mine a week ago.
I mean, I've heard the album before, of course, but I just haven't heard the Intervention one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this.
There you go.
You know what Intervention did that I have, and it sounds really, is Patricia Barber, Cafe Blue.
Such a great album. It was a great recorded album as well. I think that's on. Impex did that one too, if I'm not mistaken.
That was Impex. I don't think it was Intervention.
No, it was Impex.
Yeah, it was Impex.
Okay.
Impex.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
So getting back to the Beatles, if you guys are joining late, no one seems to be able to tell us. I don't know if everyone signed NDAs where they can't say how many are pressed or what's going on. I know one of the viewers made a comment. I didn't put it up. I can't find it now. But on the Beatles website, they still have clips of of some of the songs and the mono box. So some are speculating that, well, if they did all this, maybe there's going to be more July 18th.
Maybe,
yeah.
Hey, one more quick thing with Intervention, though, so I can get it right. But if you ever have a chance to pick this up.
Oh yeah, that's an Intervention release.
Oh,
what are we looking at for the folks that are not watching but listening? What are you holding up?
Judy Sill.
Judy Sill, yeah.
Art Food. I have an original. The cover's beat to heck, but the vinyl's still really nice. But this is a double 45, and the Kiss is just such just a beautiful, haunting record. And she had a kind of a tragic life as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's funny that you're mentioning, Jefferson, CDs are back, but I did want to touch upon something. When I had Andrew from Parlogram on, who's, of course, one of the big Beatles gurus, he mentioned CDs and especially, of course, the Beatles CDs. But 1987 was an interesting year for the Beatles from a historical standpoint, right? Because they took a long time before they went to CD. We know CDs came out in early 80s, 83, 84, when it started to get big. And really, by the time 87 rolled around, everyone was scratching their head going, what happened? Where's the Beatles catalog? What's going on with the Beatles? Why aren't they on CD yet? So a lot of the Beatles fans were pretty excited to get the Beatles on CD, which, of course, happened in 1987. And I happen to have, and I want to talk about this, this is the 1987 Sgt. Pepper. Now,
I haven't too.
What I like about this one, and if you guys can grab one, I think they're probably pretty cheap out there. Now, it was not remastered. This was not remastered, just so everyone knows. It was pretty much a digital transfer from the analog tapes by EMI engineers Mike Jarrett and Mike Healy at Abbey Road Studios. That was it. And so what they did is they took the existing analog stereo masters and converted them to digital using the standard at the time, of course, still 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz technology. There is no EQ adjustments at all or no dynamic remastering on this at all. So as close to possible as the original stereo tapes you're going to hear is this album, the 1987 Sgt. Pepper CD, the best 1987 sounding CD of the Beatles catalog. I'll put it out there. I'll argue with you all day. You're hearing things I didn't hear before, and I listened to it again this morning and last night, and I'm like, I've had this for all these years. I didn't recognize this because I've listened to all the different vinyl versions I've had. This one is a killer for probably $5. You can probably find it at any local place. Grab it if you're a Beatles historian as well. This is great.
Yeah, and if you want to get there was a whole set they did in '87.
That's right. I remember
catalog
that.
And
the whole boxer.
I mean, George Borden of all people turned me on to this. As just flat, basically not flat, but
don't say flat.
Straight,
I get in trouble for flat. Straight transfer
from the tape. Yeah. But it wasn't really mastered, right? That's sort of flat. Anyway, this is the best value.
No, go back up though. That is what was on the tape, right? When they mixed it to stereo. So that's the authentic what they heard, what the Beatles would have heard if they were even involved with the stereo mixes. I guess they weren't at that time. They were only involved with the mono ones, what we learned, right?
I'm pretty sure George Martin was.
George Martin and probably Jeff Emmerich were involved with the stereo. With the band themselves, they were involved with the mix of the mono, and they just went home after that.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say too, back to the 87 Beatles, Rubber Soul and Help. I've got the Rubber Soul 87. This is remix. This is a stereo remix, just so everyone knows. So has different, a little bit altered reverb as well, different panning than what you'd probably be used to. And it definitely sounds different than the 2009 remasters that were digitally done as well. So this is a remix. That and the Help album in 1987 were actual remixes. So some like it, some don't. Just depends on your thoughts. But it's interesting. It's definitely a different sound. I mean, it was at the time when it came out, it was really highly praised. All these, the later Beatles albums, I know the first 3 or 4, I believe, are in mono. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If you look at a lot of the posts, a lot of people today don't like the sound of those ones, but Rubber Soul sounds interesting for a remix. And again, the 1987 version of Revolver, still killer. So I would say, Sgt. Pepper #1, #2, Revolver, #3, Rubber Soul for the top 3 of
I have some
87 CDs.
Beatles CDs, but they're like in a cardboard kind of fold out. Which ones are those?
That'd be later.
Yeah, but
probably 2009, right? I'm guessing.
Probably 2009, maybe.
For a while.
Yeah. And I think the one thing, right? I mean, you look at the 2009 versus, let's say, the mono versus the 1987s. I mean, some will argue that Revolver might have been the weakest sounding CD versus all the other ones that are out there. I don't know. I mean, it really depends. I mean, I've heard some people, it lacks the punch and the warmth and all this, but I think it's all subjective anyways. I really do. But it is cool, though, too. The 87s, historically, this is the first digital issue of these albums. I mean, this is 1987. George Martin was part of it.
Yeah,
he was there.
The only Beatles album that was issued earlier was Abbey Road by Toshiba EMI in Japan. That is collectible now, and that sounds really, really good. They did it at Abbey Road.
I read
83, 84.
And I read somewhere that Apple was planning to do a 30th anniversary of the Sgt. Pepper on CD. That was, I guess, mastered by Greg Kelby, which never came out. I don't know if that's true, and I read that somewhere. I wish I would have found it, but I found that interesting. They never did come up with a 30th anniversary Sgt. Pepper. I mean, they came out with the 30th anniversary White Album, if you remember, on CD back in 1997. I would have bought that. So yeah. But the Toshibas, someone's saying, Peebethal says the Toshibas are way overrated. Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, those were the first. So
thanks, Patrick.
But for me, I think the Sgt. Pepper 87 directly from the analog tapes, no EQ adjustments. Pretty much what you're hearing on this CD is what you got from those tapes, the closest possible. I think that's why a lot of, if you read the Hoffman forums, a lot of the guys on there throughout the years will say the same thing. And I have to agree. I think even Steve Hoffman said it as well. And going back and listening to this again, this is as authentic as you can possibly have heard it. It's like being back in 1967 at Abbey Road listening to this.
Yeah, really nice.
So that very, very nice. And so that's the thing. So there's still some deals out there if you want 87 Beatles CDs. So Robert, next time you're rolling around looking for some deals, 87 Beatles.
This might happen. Yeah, that's another rabbit hole. I add a CD player to my rack now too.
I'm trying to get
all analog.
I'm trying to get rid of sources. It's taken me 10 years to finally get rid of the 8-track, and that's called. I went down this whole rabbit hole of getting into quadraphonic, and 8-track's a great way to hear quadraphonic on the cheap, So, but I'm getting rid of them.
There you go. I think that, and Rick's makes a good point. The first 4 were done in mono, so that's the big argument there, why people don't like the sound of those first 4 in 1987 because they're all done in mono, not the stereo mixes. Unfortunately, but yeah, there's still a great deal. Some will actually, depending, will because it's a CD, they might think it sounds a little bit too sharp in the mids. They might think it lacks a little overall balance. But again, I want to go and say it's pretty much what was on those stereo analog tapes at the time. That's, I think, what makes it so authentic. I like it. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah. Mono.
Michael, you listened to it. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I had listened
Sergeant
to it.
Pepper '87.
I bought that when it was new. I was 18 at the time. I just got my CD player, so, and I haven't played it in a while. My CDs are in the closet somewhere. But Steve told me to check it out, and I did. And it sounds fantastic. It's also before all the loudness wars started.
It didn't have the loudest where it may be a little bright for some. I don't know.
To me, it didn't sound bright.
I didn't think so, and I was like, wow. Why didn't I guess I didn't really listen to it before the same way I listen to things now, so I didn't really pay attention, but I was like, whoa, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, sorry, can you put Patrick's comment up about the reverb trails, the last one you did at 1644? Yeah. Patrick, are you talking about like the decay of the reverb when you say trails? Anyway, I guess he can answer whatever. I was just curious.
We can get to that. Well, that's the one thing I think. Reverb was definitely added, so some of the vocals on these a little bit warmer maybe than some people are used to. I think that's maybe part of it. But Patrick's saying also the decay as well.
Is that a US thing? Like if you were to buy a UK or a German, the reverb's not on there?
Not on the digital. It's going to be the same throughout. I mean, it's a digital transfer, so nothing's going to change. If it's a UK, Canadian, US, Spanish, it's digital. So whatever they transferred is what you're getting. There's not going to be any differences between any of the different countries that produce these CDs. That's the magic of digital, right? It's all pretty much the same, or it is the same.
Yeah.
X's and O's.
Yeah. So for me, as you know, an audiophile, always chasing stuff and chasing, Beatles stuff, not bad. 87 CDs. I think I had to revisit them, and I was more than impressed with the ones that I have. I don't actually have the first 4. I thought I did. I looked in my garage. I swear I bought them years ago, but I couldn't find them.
Yeah,
you find it when you're not looking for it.
I have too many Beatles stuff.
Exactly.
I got thousands of different Beatles things.
Steve, the first 4 are what? Please Please Me. What's next? What were they?
Well, there'd be Hard Day's Night in there. There'd be the second album as well. So I mean, those ones. Well, I guess Hard Day's Night would have been in mono. There's no.
Please Please Me, with the Beatles, Hard Day's Night, and Help.
So Hard Day's Night would have been in mono back in 1987.
Yes, Help was digitally remixed. I remember having an ADD.
Help was digitally remixed. That's absolutely
mono.
Right.
That was mono too.
Yeah,
I remember that.
CD's mono.
And I think George Martin remixed them. I remember that.
George Martin did remix the Help and the Rubber Soul. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is stereo.
Help. But it's a George Martin remix though.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll see an ADD code on the back of that. I remember that.
So it'll say ADD. It'll say on the actual CD. If you put it up, Jefferson, it should say ADD right on the
right
CD.
under the barcode.
Yeah. ADD.
You'll see that? Okay.
We're such nerds, but yeah, that's, and again, it was format 16-bit 44 1 kilohertz digital standard red book CD audio.
Do you have the barcode memorized, by the way?
Who, me or 7774?
I don't want to show off. But Steve already got it first.
But I think what it is too about the 87s overall, they're not compressed. So maybe some say, "Oh, I don't hear the bass." I mean, it's not compressed. It's pretty much again, it's a transfer from the analog tapes. That's what you're getting
on the tape, right? What is
and
there's no compression.
The early days of CDs, they hadn't learned, all the tricks that they have now.
So in a way, it's actually really magical.
Pro Tools, so they're just
right.
Taught it, and what was on the tape is what they captured at 1644, which is not the greatest thing ever, but at least they did try and capture it. They're nice. And I love,
and it really brings back memories. It's like the classic 80s, jewel cases, nice and thick, and bringing back memories. I love.
And those were sold in long boxes. I remember that.
I love that.
Were the long boxes?
So I got the long box behind me at the Capitol.
They had the long boxes so they could fit in the LP racks. That was the
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the minute those 87s came out, I was jumping on because I was buying CDs all day long back in 1987. I was not buying much vinyl. I think I bought a few. I'd have to look at my collection. I think I bought a few things in 87, but mostly I had, CDs are there. Had to buy them.
The first 3 CDs I bought were Sgt. Pepper's, Roger Waters' Radio Chaos, and the Pete Townsend solo album. So, and that was like when I could afford CDs, probably 86, 87. Huh?
Empty Glass?
No. the White City or Deep End Live, one of those two, one of the ones that no one knows about, but it was like
Empty
I've
Glass is
heard
a good sounding record.
it's a great album. Another good one is All the Best Cowboys Have Chinese Eyes, which is either right before or right after that one.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, look at this. This is interesting. Joel just said something here. I'm not sure where he gets his research from, but something to consider. The vinyl stereo box set released in 2012 was limited edition of only 50,000 worldwide, with almost 19,000 for North America. So that is very interesting. So do you think, if this number is correct, that the 2014 mono box was 50,000 worldwide as well back in 2014?
Steve, our friends
Things that make you go,
I don't think it was that
our
many.
friends from the freight are on. You saw that?
There's my boys. Boom.
All right. Nice.
Hope they're all watching. Great band.
I mean,
Boston.
the stereo is going to be more, mass consumed. People, it's a certain taste for mono.
I know.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. And again, back in 2014, I can't emphasize this enough. People weren't sprinting records, and they're going to look at mono. Why am I not going to buy mono? Why am I going to buy mono?
Yeah, we turned our noses up.
What's mono?
Back in the day.
Yeah, that just sounds too like AM radio in my grandma's car. Why would I want to listen to that?
Transistor radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 50,000. I always thought 20,000, the 2014 mono box.
I could see that many for the stereo, though. I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. But
they were selling not too long ago. They were selling the stereo LP stereo box is still selling for $300 Canadian. I've seen it at that price. I don't know if it's gone up since. I think they've gone up a little bit. I don't know why. If there's 50,000 worldwide, if they're any more than $300, that seems expensive. I'd rather have the 87s.
Yeah.
CDs and the LPs.
I'm telling you, this is your best bet. If you want the CDs,
you're
shopping.
So Joel was researching.
Sorry,
Joel was careful. You might pull a muscle. That's a lot of weight for an audiophile to be lifting.
I know.
Okay.
I worked up for it earlier today.
Joel was researching SoundScan numbers, and he got that number of the stereo LPs from SoundScan. I'd love to find out the 2014 mono box. No one seems to know. Did everyone buy it? I know you bought a few copies, Robert.
Of the
mono box, the new one, the 2004,
No, I
2025.
just got the one.
Okay. I think that's what pisses a lot of people off, is the fact that it was 4 per customer here in North America.
I might sell records, but I don't flip records.
Well, getting back to it, I think the flippers are maybe not as excited. So how many on eBay are actually going to buy that 2025 for $5,000? That makes or $2,000. That makes no sense. They're not going to buy it. Has there been anyone buying it?
I don't know. Are there still a lot of posts up there on eBay?
Oh, I'm sure. I can look. I'd be curious to know how many are posted. I just want to know if there's any that are actually sold, though. That's the thing. Posted is one thing, but sold's another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of people ask anything for it, but
Here, I got it. We can go through it here. This is
I'm seeing it for 900 to 1,000 for the pre-order on the 9.
But is that
5?
Is that the completed listings or just what people are asking?
I looked at completed listings.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
849. 1,
Here we go.
There you go. Yeah.
So this probably is Canadian pricing. I don't know if it is or isn't. I apologize. Me being from Canada, but pre-sale July 18th release. Is this
but those are not sold out. It's got to be in green to be sold out.
So 888, 890. That's US dollars.
They haven't sold out though. When they sell, they're green.
No, I think the point is this is cheaper than I thought.
Here, I could.
But then here's a 2014 Jefferson pre-owned for $1,500. Wow, great.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to grab that one.
You got to click. Hey, Steve, click complete listings. See what it says? Show only completed listings on the far left.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. Go over to the left. Click completed listings.
Yeah.
Go back down.
Down, yeah. I can't see it. Where am I looking? I see all
Or
listings here.
sold items.
Farther down. Go farther down.
Yep.
Farther down. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh my
keep
gosh.
going.
I don't
Farther
go on
down.
eBay. Sold items. Here you go. Okay, you guys are
There you go.
stressing me out.
Completed listings. There you go.
Okay, here we go.
See, 890, 949, 1,000. Yeah, it's selling.
So it's almost a double if you're a flipper.
It's
that
double.
you sold that year.
Yeah.
And this is sold before they got the money before they even got the merchandise. That's kind of that's kind of shady in a way.
Yeah, that.
So people are buying them. Looks like on average, $789 to what, $849-ish, $1,000.
But here's the reality: there's people that don't have the time
reality.
to go back and look for it. They're just going to buy it and spend the extra $500 and just get it. You know.
Wouldn't that be something? July 18th hits up and you got all the singles, more boxes. These flippers that are holding on going to get crushed. But we don't know that. Like I said, we don't know. And that's the big, it's frustrating me because I really wanted to find out before this show if there was a possible number, but no one has that number. No one will even tell me. No one will even tell me if there's going to be individual records coming out. Mono, July 18th, more boxes. I mean, the Beatles website looks pretty good. It's got a lot of information there, a lot of marketing there. That would be a real waste if there's no product come July 18th. So it ships July the 18th. So I've been wrong a million times before. So I'm going to say that there's not going to be any pressed. And then that's reverse psychology, which will mean if I say there wasn't going to be any, there will be a ton. That's how I'm looking at this.
If I shell out $1,500 for the 2014 box, that means there'll be 50,000 available. So maybe I just need to take a hit for the team and buy it.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. When Mal Scholl came on, that of course, he's part of Universal. He was a contractor, but he's at Abbey Road, and because he knows things. And he was told that, I mean, Apple wants everyone to have these records, not just us crazy audiophiles.
And that doesn't seem like something he would just say off the cuff. You know, he seemed very, very keen to make that point when you had him on. So I can't see him say.
I had to rewatch. I had to rewatch the show to get that again. I thought the same.
So I can't see him just like saying it just to say it, right? So they probably, who knows? We'll see.
But no one, all my sources,
my
sources, not naming names, so you guys can all figure it out. Everyone has no clue if there will be more. They have no clue. I don't know if they're just NDAing me and not saying, but no one has a clue.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have some clarity on July 18th, and then we'll know after that, maybe a couple months after.
Yep. So behind Michael, I'm going to put this picture up. Michael, what am I looking? What are we all looking? This. Hang on 1 second. To me, that looks like a CD player. Like a giant for a giant CD player.
We spent most of our time talking about software, but this is what
are we looking at?
That's a tone arm that. I got a new plinth from a place called Acousstand in the UK. It took me 6 months to get it, but I have a new plinth behind me. This is the new arm from the Wand in New Zealand. It's a carbon fiber tone arm. This is the tapered version. Carbon fiber arm, and I'm kind of testing it out for them for a few months.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. I already the one in the back I bought back in August of last year. That's a 12-inch arm, but that one is not tapered. The new one is tapered, and it's a carbon fiber arm.
There's a good shot of it there.
I was looking at that when on this video. That is sweet.
Wow.
It's a beautiful sounding arm.
How much does that go? How much does that go for?
I don't know the price in the U.S. yet, but in Europe it's 7,500 euros, I believe. It's expensive, but it's a really nice sounding arm.
Do you have a MC card on one arm and a moving magnet on the other?
No, actually, I have moving coil on both. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The one in the front is a cartridge called Micro Magic that Gary Coe from Genesis loaned me. On the back, I have a Lyra Helicon mono that I just got about a week ago from Shane at Intervention. So I'm running moving coil.
And did you say one was mono?
Yeah, I just mounted it last Sunday. I've only had it on for a few days. One is a mono cartridge on the back, so 12-inch arm. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun trying things out. He wanted me. The guy's name is Simon Brown from the Wand in New Zealand. He wanted me to field test the arm, so he sent me a prototype. It's actually already scored Class A in stereophile as far as tone ups go. So yeah, it's a lot of fun trying out stuff.
That's another rabbit hole, everyone. Be careful.
Another rabbit hole, yes. That and real tapes, right, Jefferson?
I should make another.
Yeah.
I should make another
Don't do
announcement. I should make another announcement. I forgot to do it at the top of the show. Do you guys want to hear another announcement?
Yeah.
Exclusive. Rhino Hi-Fi. We got a box set coming out July 4th. I've been allowed to do a pre-video July 1. So you'll get to learn, and I believe it'll even be on the website July 1, and it's a box
July
set.
1, okay.
And it's not Led Zeppelin, it's not New Order, it's not the Smiths. I mean, I keep going on.
Sure, it's not, Steve.
Don't we also have a couple of Because Sound Matters?
So July 1, everyone will find out. I think even pre-ordered in that day as well on the website before it comes out July the 4th.
And Because Sound Matters, some titles coming out soon too, right? We can't talk about them yet, but they're soon. Some one steps.
July 4th, you get to buy it. Actually, no, I think July 1 you can pre-order it July 1, and then it'll go 4th.
4th of July, yeah.
So may or may not do a. If you want to come up 5:30 in the morning, Michael, you want to wake up with me 5:30 on July 1?
I'm out for the summer, yes.
Okay, we might have to do it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Everyone's saying ZZ Top Box 2 or saying that. I will tell you, I was talking to Patrick Milligan today from Rhino. They just got the box, whatever it might be, from the pressing plant today. So I won't even have my box in time for July the 1. So
are there also going to be individual titles, or is it just the box set next?
Well, I would assume just like the last box of the Doors or of ZZ Top or what are the other boxes? I can't remember now. I would assume that they're going to have singles eventually as well because it's going to be limited to 25 or 3,000.
Is it something that will sell out pretty fast, you think?
Same. I think it'll be fine. I mean, I'm not going to say. It's not this, though. Sorry, Cedric.
It's not a Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin, you mean?
Yeah. I will say, I mean, Patrick Milligan, who's the A&R for Rhino, and all the Rhino executives who watch the show and know about our show, I tell you, they watch us. They listen to everyone and see the comments. They know Led Zeppelin's hot. It's not like they're not trying on this one. If anyone's going to do it first, it will be Rhino. It's not going to be any third party. It's a matter of negotiating, and it's probably one of those things that probably won't happen, right? Jimmy Page is the man in charge. It's one of
those things that won't happen until it happens.
Right. I mean, you'll never know. I won't know. No one's going to tell me.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not you. It's just, you know, they're very tight-lipped about this stuff. None of us had a clue that mono box is going to get repressed. Boom, and there it was.
No one.
So, I don't know.
I think there's more NDAs now than ever before, right? That's another thing. They don't want these things leaking. Don't want these YouTube assholes leaking stuff.
Those
Steve
fuckers,
Westman.
Man. Yeah.
Jeez.
Then you can see on eBay where people are pre-selling the pre-sale because we've heard that this is going to be coming out.
I really hope
exactly.
Just because of those I really hope it gets crushed, and then July 18th, all the singles come out in more boxes, and it just puts it back to market value of $589 and $39 a record or whatever it comes out to.
From your lips.
That would be amazing to me. That would be Christmas come early in July.
If you know what, if they really were upset because of all the flippers, and with the
right.
That's exactly
right.
That would be the ultimate.
The next day.
The
ultimate FU.
Yeah.
Right. Or even like 2 days before the release, right? Because you're gonna have some tailing, sales on. There'll be some FOMO the day it's released, right? So a couple people will get taken, but if they do it a couple days before, then you nail everybody.
They were total geniuses by doing letting it be 4. And here we've been talking about this for 2 shows and
3 weeks. Totally. It's like
awesome.
Because
we're not done talking about it, Robert.
Since 2014, if you're an audiophile, this is one of the big mysteries. When will they ever press more of these boxes? And it happened, and they just disappeared in 2 days.
That would be so funny.
I would be so funny. I feel sorry for the people that are buying or have already bought on eBay. We showed that here. Hang on.
Yeah.
Look at that. So people have bought those, right? That's bought.
Yep.
So they've sent their money plus their
They've
shipping.
doubled. Yeah, they've doubled.
Okay, and then maybe July 18th comes out and it goes. Everyone,
And
it's a
gotta be
free
shipped
for all.
twice. The guy, well,
Oh my God.
I doubt they can change the shipping address.
Oh, Joel says they hold the payment till shipping on eBay. I don't buy eBay. I don't know. So thank you for that, Joel. Can you imagine? And then the singles come out. Single albums come out.
Be a lot of canceled orders. That's actually a great way to screw the flippers.
Like I said, I'm wrong so often that I'm going to say that there aren't going to be any more mono box sets or individual albums. And then I think someone mentioned, oh, you're reverse engineering it. That's what I'm trying to do. It's
exactly.
Reverse psychology. Because if I say it, there's not going to be any more. There's going to be.
When is the next batch of Rhino reserves coming out, Steve?
You know, it's so funny. I was waiting for my last 3 Rhino reserves from Rhino.
There were 3. I remember that. There were 3.
Baby Huey was one of them, if I recall. I don't have any of them.
I just got a shipping notice yesterday that those are coming.
Wow.
Baby Huey, Otis Redding.
Otis Redding's one of them. That's right.
Dictionary of Soul, and or not Dictionary of Soul, Otis Blue. And what's the third one?
I can't remember.
On the third
I'm really excited for Baby Huey, though, because that was a very expensive record. Like the OG was expensive. So
I bought it at WFMU last year.
Definitely grab that one, Baby Huey, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, Apple listens to me. So then, what should I say? If Apple's listening to me, I don't know. If I should say yes, get more. I don't know.
We'll have to
see. Get more. We'll get more. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to happen. It's got to be more. No, I shouldn't say that. I got to say the opposite, right? Because I'm always wrong.
Or just Jefferson, just go buy that 2014.
If Jefferson buys a 2014, then I promise you there will be more.
I guarantee you. Yeah,
like
exactly.
You did with the Pharaoh Sanders.
So I'll do it. Yeah, exactly. Or, what else did I just... Yeah, I'll find it later. Yeah, if you guys want to do a GoFundMe to buy the 2014 box, and then I'll release it back into the wild once I get my order in.
Joel was right. That Otis from the Rhino Reserves is mono.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't advertise that. I think it's just a marketing thing. They just probably didn't pick it up on the website. I did talk to Rhino about that, but it is a mono. I'm excited about these Rhino Reserves. They can do a lot of good titles on those.
What is the third title? I can't remember what the third title is.
Blanking on it too.
You guys are killing me.
Oh, Meters.
Oh, it is Meters.
Oh, yeah, the Meters. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You
know what? I did see that now. It just flashed by. Thank you for that, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Those Rhino Reserves, I mean, AAA, Chris Bellman cuts, right? And going forward, this is cool too with the Rhino Reserves. Matt Luthens is going to be cutting them AAA on all tube machine at the mastering.
By the way, did you
mastering lab?
So he's going to.
Yeah, he's cutting
all tube.
So that's in Kansas, right? That's where Doug Sachs is.
So the next, I don't know when the next batch of reserves will happen, but they're all tube AAA. So wrap your head around that.
Did you guys see he's also doing a 2000 limited edition Joan Baez's Diamonds and Rust for the tapes?
Yeah, that'll be good.
For Analog Productions at 45 RPM double LP.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that Wishbone Ash that they're doing. That's a good one. If that's not released, it's going to come out in another a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
Joan Baez in mono?
No, that's
probably not. That's 76, probably stereo by then.
That's FM radio, Robert. Come on. Chris, any news on Anthology Remaster? When I had Andrew on from Parlogram, we talked about it. Go back to that show. It's definitely going to be happening, I think, in November. Again, should I reverse engineer it? Because every time I say it will, it won't. But I have pretty good sources on this one. On Anthology will be happening. And
well, they just did the anthologies last year, right? They did the 3 album editions.
No, this is
blue and red albums.
No, that's not Anthology. Anthology came out. Remember the 94, 95, the TV series that was, and they released the CDs and the LPs. So I think
that's the one with the cover with all the newspaper clipping.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there was one at the Orlando record show, and it wasn't it was like $40, $50.
Yeah, I should have picked it up. So I think the new one will be remixed using Giles Martin and Peter Jackson software. So they're going to isolate all the instruments on these ones, probably include some new tracks, some new goodies, I would assume, because we want to excite the Beatles fans. So that will probably happen around November before Christmas is what I think. But they'll be those ones, because they're digital, will be amply available. You'll be able to.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So we did it. I wanted to go an hour because it's late for my friends on the East Coast and my friend Robert from Florida. It's past his bedtime. I mean, I can't even believe you're up, not snoring already.
And I get up early too, so.
Meters will be interesting. I'm excited to get all three of my Rhino reserves. Again, I don't have them yet. And the new box set coming out July 4th, July 1 will be a pre-announcement, pre-sale. If Michael's up to it, I think we'll get up at 5:30 in the morning, do a live audiophile
I'll do it. I'm up
show
for it.
with you. Okay, we're going to do it then. We'll do it. It'll be earlier than that because what we'll probably do, I'm not allowed to say it till 6 a.m., but what we'll do, if it pops up on the website, we'll just start refreshing the website around 5:25. And then if it pops up, we can talk about it, and that will be that.
Hey, Steve, I had a quick question for you. You were talking when you were with Mazzy that Beatles for sale, that the stereo sounded better than the mono?
Lot do, yeah. I'd agree with that too. I've got a mid-80, 1984. I got it from our good friend Tom Port years back, the hot stamper in 1984, Beatles for sale. And it's a fantastic sounding pressing. You got the Japanese pressing there. Yeah.
What about this one here? I was curious. The mono better, the stereo?
I'm a mono guy for the earlier sounding Beatles records, like the Please Please Me.
Yeah, so those are hard left, hard right.
It's a hard panning on those ones, and it's annoying if you have headphones
stereo.
on. Not that I listen to headphones of the Beatles, but think about listening to that on headphones. It gives you a headache on headphones.
Yeah, early stereo. It's like we can put everything left and right, so let's do it as far apart as possible.
And that's probably the one argument. If you go back to the 87s, it's the panning on these guys, right?
Yeah.
Compared to like the remastered 2009s in the remixes going forward. That would be the argument. But my argument is, especially on these ones, this is direct analog master. They didn't do any EQing, no compression. This is what you heard.
Wow.
Yeah. On those early Beatles, I've heard that they were never really intentionally designed to be released that way. They were mixing to mono off 2 tracks, and it was hard left, hard right. You're supposed to mix them. It wasn't supposed to be like that severe,
A lot of say that 2009 doesn't get enough credit. We did some blind tests when PB-Thal was on of the 2009, and those won. Like people did like a blind. We did, I think, 3 or 4 different versions. I cannot remember the song. I should go back to the video now. In the 2009, Miles Cut won, like by a landslide. People like, wow, it sounds great. So I think with the Miles Cuts, there's a lot of presumption bias, Jefferson, on those ones. I truly believe that.
I like this album. I was always,
It's got that Buddy Holly feel to it, right?
Yeah.
The Beatles for sale. It really
Kinda
does.
jangly.
Right?
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, I get into the Beatles from like Rubber Soul Revolver on. I like the LSD hippie stuff.
I was about to say, hang on, Jefferson's from Berkeley? Boy, shocking. Why?
I really like this album.
No, I'm just to say that I'm not as familiar with those early albums like I should be.
Yeah.
But in general, if it came out in mono originally, that's what I prefer.
Yeah.
But I've only recently started listening to the UK cuts of those, like the last few years, because I grew up on the Capitol releases, and it's a totally different world in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, thank you for this. Everyone that's watching, amazing. We had a good hour show today. Robert's got to get to bed. That's my biggest concern. Otherwise, I'd go for 3 more hours.
I was on at 10:15, just kind of whatever, and I didn't know you have to scroll, and then
2 strikes. Remember we had this conversation. Didn't we have this conversation today? What did I say? I'm a 3-strike host, and you're on 2 now.
It's all good, Robert. Come on now.
Well, hopefully my lighting's a little
Steve outed
better.
you just now. No one in the audience knew.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard for me to sleep because my eyes. I've got this light.
You got the sword of Damocles now, right?
Yeah.
That's it. We're doing in July 1 in the morning, 5:15 a.m. or so, around there. We're gonna go.
Somebody was asking, what time zone is that, Steve?
Pacific Standard Time. It's supposed to go live at 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Okay. Rhino told me, but it never does. It always goes before that every single time.
So 5:15 Pacific Standard
So
Time.
around that
What's the
time,
date?
yeah,
What date?
July 1, which is Canada Day. So I have the day off. So
Okay.
I'll be up early. Happy
That
Canada Day.
is Tuesday, July
Tuesday,
1st.
5:15 a.m. We're going to go live, Pacific Standard Time.
And we'll be talking about what? The box set coming out?
Yeah, the one that's not Led Zeppelin.
Or Pink Floyd?
Or so
Definitely
he
not
says.
Floyd.
Or so he says. It's not.
Or
It's
Or
not.
Milli Vanilli.
Not.
Or
I
the
don't know
Stooges.
if it was those, I don't know how I could keep it secret. I couldn't even do a show if it was a Led Zeppelin box set. I would have to blab it. I'd have to sign an NDA because otherwise I would tell. I couldn't hold that one in.
Is it the Smiths, all their 12-inch singles?
Oh damn it. Oh no, it's
That'd
not
be
the
a big
Smith. It's
box.
not Joy Division, it's not New Order, it's not Depeche Mode or whoever. It's I don't know. But anyways. Okay, I'm out of here, guys.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
everyone for watching.
Good to
Thanks
see you
so
all.
much.
Good night, guys.
Well,
Rock and
hang
roll.
on, July
Peace.
1, 5:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Michael and I will be in doing a show waiting for the Rhino box to drop. Till then,
Bye, guys.
take care.
Good night,
Hey, guys.
Good night.